This is going to piss off all of you OCD people. Let's go for C.
A, C, B, D. Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Okay, let's see.
Now my mind is freaking out. Okay.
B, we have 46.5%, and C, we have 45. So this is actually the, I suppose you could say, weakest of the three.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's think about that. A was 47.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a shade bit under 100 proof.
Ooh.
So.
Okay. I'm definitely detecting notes of barley in there.
Oh, the barley's very prominent.
You can definitely smell a bit of caramel in there as well.
Yes. Now, there's something else here. There's something else. Almost a citrusy type zest that I can't place.
If I had to guess, I'd say possibly lemon?
That's sort of what I'm thinking, because it's not smooth or light enough to be orange.
Very true. That's definitely not lime either.
No, certainly not. Not strong enough to be lime.
And just from what I'm getting, just from the smell of it alone so far, not even without tasting it, that one seems like it would be very good as either a mixer or possibly as another one to be drank as cold.
Perhaps so. We will find out momentarily.
Indeed.
Here be yours,
Thank
here
you.
be mine.
Yep, definitely a very mild citrus flavor smell.
Oh, there's that smoke.
Ooh.
Feel it. You can feel it.
You can actually feel the smoke, yes.
It's not just a taste, it's an actual feeling, believe it or not, to where, oh wow, very dry, very good.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
dry.
That's sandpaper tongue right there.
Woo!
When a good dry whiskey like this that has kind of a smoky overtone, like your typical smoky, spicy scotches, or a very good aged bourbon like this, I think, the flavor doesn't necessarily explode the moment it hits. It's after you swallow it, everything begins to dry out. Everything just starts to roll in and crawl right up in here, and you really get a full immersion in the flavor.
That's actually a very good way to put it. That reminds me a lot of when you're smoking a good bowl of pipe tobacco. Because that's the same general way that you do that. You take a little bit in, kind of roll it in the back of your throat a bit, and then slowly breathe it out.
Exactly.
So I can see this going very well with a good mixed tobacco from a pipe.
This would be excellent with a Cavendish tobacco.
Okay.
Which is kind of your sweeter, more mellow tones and so on. Unlike a Latakia, which is, hit you in the face, kind of knock you for a loop kind of stuff.
Okay.
Now, as for a compliment, now we've just so far been talking about like cigars and pipe tobaccos and so on. I could see this going together very well with blackened catfish.
I can see that pairing very well with that, actually.
The smoke would complement well the spiciness from the Creole and things like that. I believe would complement this fairly well. This definitely has more of a southern Louisiana kind of feel to it, which is interesting.
I could see this mixing well with either Coke or Pepsi then.
Yes, it would.
No, actually, on second thought, you know what this would mix perfectly with? RC Cola.
Better still. Not as heavy as everything else, but just enough of a different flavor profile so it would mix differently. Now, if that makes any sense, because I'm not sure it makes sense to me.
For a second, I thought you were going to say Tab.
No. Not much mixes well with Tab.
True that. Not even Tab mixes well with Tab.
All right. Give it a whack.
I'm not going to say what I was about to say. Whew. Wow, that is surprisingly smooth.
Yes, but it does have a little bit of a zap to it.
Definitely.
Which is nice. I mean, you don't want it so overpowering that you can't really drink it, that you can't shoot it. But, oops, there it goes. There it goes.
You can really feel it start to go down there.
Yeah.
You know, if I had to have a comparison with this one, I'd say this is actually fairly close to Larceny.
Larceny. You're right. You're right. Very close.
The other one was actually fairly similar to Devil's Cut.
Now, what's very interesting, we're trying all of these warm, at room temperature, mind you. Now, what would be very, very interesting would be if we had another one of this exact same stuff and chilled it down. Made icy, icy cold. I mean, wrap it in a wet paper towel, stick it in the freezer for 15 minutes, and bang, you're good to go.
Which is actually a very good technique. He's shown that to me before. That's what we did the first time I got Larceny.
That's right.
Which, by the way, Larceny is also a very good one to try. It's one of those single barrel small batch ones, and it is very good.
And I can almost guarantee you that each individual bottle will taste slightly different than the next one, even if it's from the same batch.
That's the nice thing about small batches like that in single barrels.
You get to taste the differences in the seasons in which the whiskey was either aged or distilled or even fermented. Merely by how it tastes, you can tell, okay, this one must have been done in the spring or the summertime. It's a little bit more lively or a little more floral.
And brewing and distilling, it's amazing just how much difference the seasons can really make.
Absolutely. Okay, this was C. Let's find out what it was. Nope, that's B. There we go. C. Journeyman.
Journeyman what? Journeyman
Featherbone Bourbon. Interesting.
I think, if I remember correctly, the story on that one, it was actually started by a golfer, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
He raised, if I can talk, he grew up here in America, but had a big love for golf, so he actually took off to Ireland to go and golf some of the oldest greens in the world.
That would be Scotland.
Oh, Scotland?
It's where the game was invented there, laddiebuck.
They both wear dresses, so what does it matter?
Whatever blows your skirt up, I guess.
I guess that's what she said.
Aye. I don't know, did she? Sorry. Had to. Oh, hi. Okay.
He's taunting the camera woman.
I gotta pester her somehow.
And the first one, just to throw this back in there, this is actually, believe it or not, a Chicago distillery.
Really?
I know that's a rarity among spirits because you don't see very many distilleries in Chicago, but that's actually where that one is from.
Chicago's known for that.